Good morning, guys. Well, aren't intermittent diagnoses the worst? I've had an intermittently flickering background dash lights in this 2000 Suburbans for some time. It's taken me a while to come to a diagnosis, mainly because it's not a problem that happens all the time. I've now got enough diagnostic information to come to a clear diagnosis and an easy fix. I hope you come along. So here's the issue. A lot of times you don't notice anything, but occasionally you'll notice that suddenly all the background lights on the dash go black. And if you're driving at night, then you can't see your speedometer or any of the other issues. And during the daytime, all you notice really is that the clock suddenly goes blank. You don't have any light on the clock. Now, for the longest time, I didn't realize what the problem was, but then I discovered that as I roll this rheostat right here, I can find a weak spot. And to me, that's clarified the diagnosis. We found a problem with this switch. So this is the dimmer switch. We're going to take this out, examine it, and likely replace it. Let's get started. So at this point, if you want to be a purist, you can take the negative pole of the battery off because you could be close to the airbag system and you don't want to do anything that'll jeopardize your safety. But I'm not going to be anywhere near that, so I'm going to skip that step. What I have done is I've chalked the wheels and I'm going to set the emergency brake. Now I'm going to move this gear shift lever out of the way because it's in the way of the bezel as I pull the bezel off. Now the open door signal is going to come on, so it'll create an annoying noise. And from here, I'm going to have to move you into the car, but I'll just show you how I do this. Foot on the brake, turn the key on, and then get the gear shift lever out of the way. And I'm going to end up having to shut the door so that I can do the next part of this. This is one situation where rubber gloves make the job easier by allowing a better grip. The bezel is attached by plastic clips that release when you pull straight away. After years of sun exposure, the challenge is to avoid breaking the 20-year-old brittle plastic. For that reason, you want to avoid using metal pry bars. During the last step, watch me position the steering wheel downward to make it easier to remove the bezel. Now, the devil's in the detail with getting it out from here. There are 3 plastic clips, one here, and then 2 on the bottom. And I've used these 3-pocket screwdrivers and I've pried it, and I've now got it to the point very carefully of being able to slide it right out. So let's do that here. You can see there's the one there. You just pry it. It's a clip that comes down from the top. You just pry it back. And so we're just going to carefully pull this and look at these electrical connectors. Make sure the connections are similar. Okay, now I'm looking for evidence of corrosion, green crusties or whatever that might be a problem, but I'm not seeing anything like that here. And so let's just take this connector off. You just pry this back and wiggle and pull. And there it comes. Of course, the fun part of any repair is taking apart the old parts, and this is the device here, the old device on the chart. And complicating matters is the fact that the schematic color diagram is wrong. I'll show it for you, but it's wrong for my vehicle. In any case, I've identified what I think is the ground, which is the middle connector piece. And this variable resistor here should give a nice smooth variance of resistance over the sweep. And what you'll see is that we've got fairly low resistance, and then all of a sudden it's just all over the place. Look at those numbers. There's some dead spots in there. So undoubtedly the problem is in the variable resistor. Let's take it apart and see what we see. It's not unreasonable to try to fix these things. They all go together pretty much the same way. These kind of buttons typically just pull off like that. So I've pried these ones off. Here's something. Okay. 4 little clips. And then this looks like this comes right out this way. Okay. And I don't know if you can see this here. There's a bit of corrosion here on this aluminum and the sliding surfaces. So I suppose if you wanted to try and reclaim this, you could use a mild acid and clean it off with a toothbrush, put it back together and see if it works for you. That might work for you. This is the part here that goes for the dome override switch right here. Alright, so the variable resistor is right in there. See if I'm showing you this correctly. And there seems to be a bit of corrosion there, so I'm going to take off these 2 screws. This looks like a heat sink of some type. Okay, and you can see quite a bit of corrosion there. And so that also would be, if you wanted to clean this, you just take a toothbrush and clean it off carefully, maybe with some soapy water, and then solvent, and then dry it, and then put it back together and see if it works for you. I'm not going to bother with that. I'm going to just replace it with the new switch and be done with it. But for those of you who are interested in saving money, you might save a bit of cash by doing it that. One other thing I'll show you is the other side of this metal plate. Look at that. Bring that a little closer for you. Don't know if this is showing up on the camera, but there seems to be considerable corrosion there as well. All right, it's back together now. For those of you who are interested in trying to fix this yourselves, don't bother going after these connectors. The ones you want to go after are these two and these two. Pull the back part off, and then the housing pulls out like that. Okay, now I'll put the new part in. There's a part number for you. Well, I hope this video helped you out with your repair. Thanks for watching.